Now as soon as I clicked on demolish, it meant all the resources in there, 5% storage remaining, so it's 5% full, we don't have any use of. So we straight away lost food, tools and clothing. Now, oh, still got that tickle. We want to get all that out and put it into these storage areas here. You can get it out. Oh, we just had a child born. And another child born. Yay! To get it out, you need your labourers to come and actually do that. But they're going to be busy doing other things. We've got the Forester's Lodge being constructed. What else? Probably get the blacksmith going. And the woodcutter. They're going to start filling up the resources required for all these other buildings before they demolish anything. You can change that by clicking here and increase priority. Increase priority in this area here. Now the labourers, they'll want to go and work on this cart. So they'll empty it out. As soon as they empty it out, my builders can come and demolish it. Once it's demolished, it's all gone. Then I'll be able to build there again. Alright, so they have been chopping down the trees in this area, that's good. Let's have a look how our fishing dock is going. So far this year, 880. We are in the middle of winter, so we don't have long to go. We might, if we're lucky, we'll get to, probably just off 1,000 fish for the year. Now there's no way of actually looking without the town hall to see how much fish you are using, or food you're using. Once you have the town hall, you can see how much food you use a year. Food. Well, we got quite a few fish in the boarding house as well as 100 in here. Oh, well, we did have 100. Oh, the cart's gone. Yay! Well, what I'm going to do, put a well down here. And the well is, I've never actually had to use it, to be honest. Just put a road around it. And demolish that road. We're going to, excuse me. We're going to pause it. We don't need the well straight away. The well is used for firefighting. Here we go. Provides water for putting out fires. I haven't had a fire before. Yes, they do happen. Oh, yes, I know they happen. But I've never actually had one. So I don't know what it's like when they do happen. The reason I put the well in is because it generally, once it's built, is a focal point for all your people that don't have anything to do. Generally it's your kids, more often than not, and they'll just hang out in that area, so it's just easier to find people idling. Ooh, we're out of food. Clean out of food. Ah, look at that! Still got some potatoes. They're not going to last long. We don't have any potato seeds, so we can't replace those just yet. Onions, mushrooms. Plenty of firewood for the season. We also got some berries there. Plenty of fish. Look at that, 370. So we're doing alright food-wise. Even though it says we only got 62. The gatherers are bringing in a nice supply of food. Roots, berries, onions and mushrooms so far. Quite a lot of roots. I think the hunters, we can unpause you now. Forester's Lodge is very nearly complete. And once we've got that, I might actually get rid of Builder. Excuse me. Yeah, I'd like a couple of kids to become adults. We're not too far off one of them. The rest, or two of them within the next 12 months. Should be able to become foresters. Oh. Okay, now all of them just stopped on the Forester's Lodge to get food going, the Hunter's Cabin. All three. So we're going to down that by one. That'll mean that only 2 can work on the Hunter's Lodge. And the other one's gone back to the Forester's Lodge for the 4% needed. So that'll get completed nice and quick. Oh, just had to pause and have another coughing fit. And I've just noticed that each time I have a coughing fit, it's almost a full episode. So I might use the coughing fits as a point of separating the video. Oh, alright, we've just got a question mark above our Forester's Lodge. It's fully operational, sort of. Now, the Forester's Lodge has 2 options here that you can enable and disable. Cutting the trees down or planting the trees. Personally, I don't know why you'd want to turn either of them off. Maybe if you wanted all the trees in a particular area cut down, but you didn't want to grow them there again, maybe? I don't know. But you can disable or enable those. I'm going to keep them going. Obviously we don't have anyone to work it just yet, but we are low on logs. So I think we get rid of 1 builder. We don't need 3, we only need the 2. Turns him into a labourer. We're then going to turn him into a forester. There we go. Just the 1, that's not enough. Not by a long way. But it's as good as we're going to get for the time being. Until we get a few more kids turn into adults. Alright, what are we working on now, guys? Hunters. Actually, I can up that back to 3. Let all 3 of you work there if you... Oh, well, we don't have 3 builders. But if I had 3 builders, I'd let you all work there. This time. I just can't take a trick with this game. I'm constantly itchy through it whilst playing it. Alright, now we're gonna probably just speed it up to 5 times, I think. We're relatively safe with our food. We've got quite a lot of different food coming in. As I say it, all our food disappears. That's not good. And disappears again. Guys, seriously, slow down on the food. No, we're doing alright. 480 fish. Still 173 potatoes. That's going to disappear very soon. The mushroom, berries, roots and onions all up. What, that comes to 150-ish. So yeah, not too bad. We're doing alright with our food. Even if it says that we don't have much. We're low on stone and logs, however. That is definitely the case. What are we... Oh, the woodcutters... The woodcutters is being built. Didn't even notice. Alright, the woodcutter is right here. I'm not going to man it just yet because we don't need it. Basically, the woodcutter, like we've already said previous episode it'll be, that will turn logs into firewood. Now 70 firewood that we have in the boarding house, that will do for all our guys. Excuse me. However, once we get a house going, which will be very soon in fact. Oh, there we go, got another labourer. Once we get a house going, we are going to want a little bit of firewood to go into that one. We've just had an adult, kid become an adult. I'd like to get him as a forester. It actually might be a good idea to get him as a woodcutter so we can get a bit of firewood going for our new houses. So that's what I will do. I do need more foresters and hunters, and I could probably stand to have another gatherer as well. Okay, our guys are still trying to work on the hunting cabin, but they need logs. Forester's Lodge has produced 10 logs. 1 iron, 1 stone. That doesn't make sense. They will slowly dig up all these rocks around them. It's a dangerous thing for them to do. They can fall or they can have stone fall on them and kill them. So we do want our labourers to get in there and clear out those rocks as soon as possible. And funny enough, we are low on stone. So we definitely want them to go and do it now. Alright, kids. Kids, how old are you? 7. Sort of within the next 12 months we'll have you. And 9, we're very soon... Oh, and another 7. Very soon we will have 1 adult. And not long after that we'll have 2 more. So I think we're going to probably have the next one that comes through. Probably going to end up being a forester, and the 2 after that will be hunters. Oh, hunters ready to be built. Foundations up. We've also got a wooden house very nearly ready to be built. 2 wooden houses very nearly ready to be built. That one right there. The significance of the house, it's family friendly, so it is, well, families will have more kids in them. But what it also does, it provides a place for them to store their belongings in the form of food and firewood. And what that does is it means to just say this house is taken up by a gatherer. Probably 2 of the gatherers will move in there together. Usually that's the way. The local area, whoever's working in the local area will get the house. As is, the gatherers, if they want food, they have to come all the way back over here to get it. If they need shelter because it's cold, they've got to come all the way back over here. The advantage of the house is they can put their firewood and their food in this area. So, oh, I need food, back they go. So obviously it helps with the time wasted. Well, that's the hope anyway. We've got the hunter's cabin built, ready to go. The hunter's cabin will produce venison and leather. Leather is one of the components for 2 of the types of clothing that you can produce. Which reminds me, clothing! It's not absolutely essential, but it's nice to have a little bit of extra clothing being produced. Let's whack you down right there. Now we're not gonna... Oh, no, we'll leave it. We'll leave it up. They won't build it because it's low priority, but they might put some resources into it. Wooden house. Oh, look at that. Wooden house is built. Straight away a family moved into it. Now you can see here we've got 24-year-old and an 18-year-old. They are the couple. They're both builders. And under that you've got a forester, a child and a gatherer. This here is all the one family. They will only live with family. However, that forester and the gatherer, if there was enough houses for them, they would leave and they'd move into another house. Only if there was no other families needing a house would they move into it. They won't move into the boarding house. They'd rather stay here with their family, which means these 2, the forester and the gatherer, obviously they wouldn't have kids together, but those 2 cannot have kids at the moment. So you want them all to have their own house. Inventory, you can see, works the same as the boarding house. You've got firewood and food, and they're doing alright for food. A lot of fish, a lot of onions, berries, mushrooms, and quite a few roots. Alright. And quite a few kids. Apparently these 3 here are these 2 kids. So this 19-year-old has a 16-year-old. Yeah, I don't think so. Now the other house is built, and that's a more respectable family. A 25 and a 23-year-old labourer with a 4-year-old child. And they've already got quite a lot of firewood. They've nicked off with a lot of firewood. And quite a bit of food. Actually nowhere near as much food as the previous family. Our food is not a problem at the moment. We've got 440 stored over here. Plus we've got 600? Yeah, just short of 600 in the boarding house. And then quite a bit of food over here. The boarding house will not need as much firewood and food anymore There's 2 less families living there. This is actually 2 families left, because remember we started with 4 families. So 2 more houses will move everybody out of the boarding house. And then it's just a matter of getting, most likely, this 18, 19, 9-year-old and 17-year-old are the kids of these 2 here, or that's how it'll work. So they'll all move out into the one house together, and then these 2 27-year-olds will move out with the 15-year-old, 9-year-old and 11-year-old. Once we do have room elsewhere, these 18-year-olds will also move out. So we need to get ourselves a few extra houses built. We'll get you built. We can see down here, little not happening over the woodcutter. That's because it's out of resources. It needs wood. There is a little bit of wood in there, so they should be able to go and get some wood now. But yeah, until we get some store of wood, it's not going to be able to make any more firewood. The limit right here, 200. We can up that or reduce it. It's just how much they'll produce. As is, this one woodcutter will not make more than 200. As soon as there's 200 wood chopped up into fuel inside our store, they'll stop producing any. We're going to up that to 400. Really, we could up it to 90,000 if we wanted to, because you never really can have enough. The only reason you'd want to reduce the amount of firewood is if you were very short on wood, like we kind of are, or logs, and you needed logs for other purposes. We've just had another labourer. So we're going to turn you into a hunter. May as well. Very soon we're going to have another one. Yeah, we've got another one about to be made, about to be changed. Now there's one other little symbol that's getting around at the moment. This little one here. There's 4 of them running around with it. You can see up the top here, 4. That's citizens without tools. We've run out of tools. Wow, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Get the schoolhouse going very soon. And a couple of houses as well. And we might as well get you. Excuse me. Alright, we've got another adult. I'm going to make you a hunter as well. Want the leather coming in for the tailor. Alright, yeah, without the tools, we're up to 5 without tools. They're just going to be doing everything much slower. At the moment, we've got 1,122 food in reserve. Quite a lot of food in the boarding house, and chances are a lot over here. Yeah, there's probably about 100 in there. And probably a little over 100 in there. I reckon we're going to need another house or 2 over in this area. The hunter's cabin has 3 people working it, 4 people in the gatherer's hut, and 4 in the forester's lodge once it's fully staffed. So that's going to need more than 2 families, more than 2 houses. So we may as well just plonk down 2 more houses. All good. All good. Right, what are we working on? We've got our 2 builders working on a wooden house. This house right here. And our 3 labourers. What are we 3 labourers for? They're working on... Oh, it's going to become a forester. They will be bringing all the resources over to it. It doesn't look like they've got any resources to bring to it though. Which means they're probably going to be knocking down trees and hopefully breaking up a bunch of stone. Right, all this stone in this area here, we want to make sure that we're collecting it. Which we weren't. Oh, okay. Well, now we are. Excellent. Might have been a bit of iron through there as well. Was there? A little bit. Well, we'll collect that too. That'll give the labourers something to do whilst they've got nothing else to do. The builders... Not sure if it's the builders or Or it's the labourers that get rid of that road.